guys, WATERFOWLER41 here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about this little guy right here. So it's going to be a real quick video, not really an install, but really just my comparison of how this throttle controller compared to my last throttle controller. So a couple weeks ago I won the Ultimate9 giveaway on Instagram, and in that giveaway packet I received a new throttle controller. So this is Ultimate9's EVC-X. This is their top of the line throttle controller. So this thing allows you to modify the relationship between the throttle controller and the throttle body, but it also has Bluetooth connectivity. It also looks really nice. So I went ahead and installed it a few weeks ago. I've been kind of playing around with it, so I figure I'll give you some of my feedback here on the overall throttle controller itself. First and foremost, as far as performance, which is what I get a lot of questions about, like how does this perform compared to my other throttle controller? Very similar. All of these throttle controllers really have the same adjustability. They call it different names, but ultimately what you have is kind of your mild, you're a little bit more aggressive, and then your extreme, and then you could dial it down or fine tune it within there with numbers. But really all of these throttle controllers do essentially the same thing. So when you're paying $300, $400 for a throttle controller versus these ones that are between $200, $300, you're kind of sometimes paying for the name on that sort of thing. But anyway, would I recommend them to anyone? Oh, absolutely. These things are so much fun. I wasn't really a believer in them up until I actually tried the throttle controllers, and they really do change the experience of driving the truck. You know, not that it's adding more horsepower, but what it allows you to do is use your horsepower that you do have faster by removing that delay between the pedal. And there's a couple different cool little functions as far as, you know, you can go the really extreme and have a lot of fun with it, or you could dial it down right in the middle, which is kind of where I'm at. But I would totally recommend throttle controllers for anyone. As far as the installation, they all basically install the same. So just like my last throttle controller, this kit comes with a plug that plugs in between, and let's see if we can get some light here. We can't. But there's your accelerator pedal. There's a plug up on top of it, and what you do is you unplug the plug going into your accelerator pedal. You plug in the one that comes in the Ultimate9 kit, and then you plug everything right back in. So this intercepts the signal from the throttle to the ECM, and it tells things to do things a little bit differently. That's how these throttle controllers work. They just basically throttle that or modify that relationship with, you know, PIDs or algorithms or whatnot. So anyway, let's get the truck fired up and I'll show you what this looks like. But really quick before we hop in the truck, my other real favorite thing about this one and why I like this throttle controller more than the other one that I was running previously is how small this thing is. You don't need a massive screen. You don't need this big ornate device, but you do want something a little aesthetically pleasing. And this guy fit right here and it looks awesome. Once you fire it up, you'll see the screen looks really nice as well. It's got a nice white LED lit screen. But it was really easy to fit in here. Double stick tape right here. I took the wire, ran it around the side here. I pulled out these trim panels and basically just ran it right down to the gas pedal. So plenty of wire. Everything's nice and discreet. It doesn't look too obnoxious where it's at. And when you're sitting in the driver's seat, you really can't see this at all. And you know, on the screen itself, you got some adjustabilities. You can go up or down as far as the adjustments, and we'll get into that in a second. But outside of that, you just kind of want this thing up and out of the way. This is the perfect location for it. All right, we don't need to turn the truck all the way on just to see everything on, but you can see I'm in the ultimate position right here, and then I'm on fine-tune setting 1, so if I go ahead and hit this button, it switches to Ultimate 5, so it's basically updating the number here on the side. If I hit that button, it'll change the whole mode, so now I'm in launch, and I could use this left button to cycle through all of the modes on the throttle controller. I like to keep it in Ultimate, the regular Ultimate mode, and on Ultimate 4, so you got to cycle through everything. Get us back to 4. That to me is probably the most fun, but also not over the top throttle setting. If you want to go crazy, you can go to launch, which obviously is going to really remove that that delay, but also make it super aggressive. The other one that I see a lot of people using on these things is Ultimate9. So Ultimate9 mode is just like launch, but it's just aggressive all throughout the curve. For me, again, that's just a little bit aggressive. So what I like to do is, again, I keep it in ultimate mode. But that is what the screen looks like, what the device looks like when it's on. Once it's on, you know it's doing its thing. So now you got 3 boxes on here. You got the level of the current mode that you're in. So in my case, it's 4. You have a lock, so you could lock this thing out so nobody can mess with it, which is useful if you're going to use valet mode. That way when you valet your car, you could lock it, and that way they can't get out of it and get in any trouble. All right, so that leftmost box here is for Bluetooth connectivity. So let's go ahead and grab my phone. and then I'll open up the Ultimate9 app. So it's going to be picking up Bluetooth connectivity, and then there you go, it's connected. So let's put it here now so I don't gotta hold it. So this is showing me that I'm in the ultimate mode and I'm on level 4. So if I look down at the screen, that's exactly what's going on there. And you could do the same thing you could do on the phone that you could do with the buttons. This to me is kind of a better interface, and since you're not constantly adjusting these things, maybe this is the way to go. But I could throw it in Ultimate9 mode, I could throw it back in Ultimate, and then I could adjust that level here. Like I said, you got anti-slip, so this is going to be a really slow relationship between throttle and throttle body. Factory, so this is going to bypass the controller altogether if you want to go back to OEM. Valet, this is going to be another slow one. It's not going to allow them to get a little crazy on the gas. Launch mode, that's where it gets super aggressive. Adapt, this is just like auto on the last throttle control I have, where it learns how you drive and it's going to adjust things and modify them. I don't know how the algorithms are written. I tried that one for a little bit. It was okay, but ultimately I liked having the most control, which is ultimate mode, and then running that guy on 4. And then economy, again, it's going to slow down that relationship, ultimately, with the intent of lowering your miles per gallon. But anyway, this is the Ultimate9 controller. I would drive around, but there's no real sense in that. Installs really nicely, fits perfect in these 5th gen RAMs. I think there's one with a white screen, but this is the EVC-X. It fits nicely there, looks nice inside the dash of the Rebel here. And because of the Bluetooth app, I would say this one probably is a little bit better than the last throttle control I had, which I had mounted down here. Because I can mount this guy up and out of the way, it's nice and discreet. I could control things via Bluetooth, a very easy, clean-cut Bluetooth app, might I add. This one gets my mark and definitely my high recommendation if you're looking for throttle controllers. But like I said, there's a bunch on the market. Ultimately, I've now gone through 2 of them, and I could tell you that from a performance perspective, you really can't tell the difference between one versus the other. So get the one that fits in your budget. Get the one that has the footprint that fits where you want to mount it. This is probably the smallest footprint throttle controller on the market right now. And because of that, it opens up a ton of options. But anyway, that's the Ultimate9 EVC-X throttle controller. Just a lot of talking in this one, but again, I kind of owed it to you to show where I had it installed and just my 2 cents on it. I think this is a great throttle controller. If that's all you're looking to do to your truck from a computer standpoint, definitely go with the EVC-X. I am on the fence right now about getting a tuner. I've been toying with the idea of getting a Trinity T2, which would mean I no longer need this guy. But for now, I'll run him, and we'll make a decision on a tuner in the future. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. Short video. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave any comments down in the description below, or leave any comments or questions you have down below, and I will get to them when I see them pop up. Thank you very much. Bye.